Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online. If you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate if you purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Today we'll be talking about the new 2021 release. This one, the Rolex Explorer in 36 millimeters. All right, so that's a very new case size for the Explorer I. I'll be going over all the features of this watch, the case, the dial, the bezel, the crown functions, as well as the movement and the bracelet. I'll be giving my thoughts on these throughout the video. All right, so starting off with this case, 36 millimeters from finger to thumb, 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock. That's the same 36 millimeters as you would find from the 10 to 4. That's the general diameter. You have the monoblock middle case with the screw down case back and the Rolex winding crown to give you the water resistance down to 100 meters or 330 feet. Now, thanks to what you see here, this one is the crown that allows for the double waterproofness system, also known as the twin lock double waterproofness system, meaning that the two dots underneath the crown allow you to basically keep this water underwater, or keep this watch underwater down to the actual depth that it's rated to, in other words, the 100 meters or 330 feet below sea level. All right, so you certainly do have that option. It's much more a sports watch in that regard, and I'll be getting into that a little bit more as well. All right, so as you can see, this full construction, a nice high polish all oyster steel, as you can see on the sides, as well, the front is actually a satin brush finish, sort of borrowing what the Oyster Perpetual line has. All right, as you can see, excuse me, as you can see, very much matching with the overall appearance of the integrated bracelet. More on that in a moment. All right, and sitting on the very front of this case, sort of glowing in its own right, the high polish bezel as well. As you can see, going all the way around, entirely smooth domed bezel with a flat sapphire crystal, nice and flat, just sitting just beyond that bezel. All right, no need for a Cyclops lens here because there's no date on here, and it still borrows from the Oyster Perpetual line in that sense. And when it comes to this dial, looking at it, this is basically what defines the Explorer. It's the ease of readability, always with a black dial, always with the chromolite applications on those 18 karat gold markers. And as you can see, extremely easy to read, extremely bright. It's actually clipping my highlights on my monitoring here. It's incredibly bright, and I barely only just now exposed it to some of the light source here in my light box. And as you can see, that seconds hand has that tiny pearl slowly moving around, so you can definitely read this in low light situations. And thanks to the chromolite, it keeps that luminescence for a very long time, far exceeding even, you know, other forms of luminescence on those hour marks. And very distinctly, you have the 3, 6, and 9, with the 12 being the large triangle, sort of like the maxi style dials that you'd see on Submariners and GMT Master 2s, but the Arabic numerals give it a little extra in terms of the readability. And you know, it also helps with the orientation as well, when, you know, if you ever happen to need to take your watch off in the dark. Hopefully you don't need to. All right, and so it's known as the Explorer for those who, you know, basically explore. If you do spelunking, if you go into caves, it has that ease of readability for the absolute high contrast, the black, sort of like, it's a highly reflective black dial, and it has the white markers all on here for ease of reading, so that you can read it, you know, very easily at a glance without ever having to, you know, sit there and stare at your watch using, you know, just your headlamp or your head torch. Very, very easy to read in the light, increasingly easier to read when compared to any other Rolex watch in their lineup, in the dark especially. All right, now this new version being a 36 millimeters, it's quite interesting that they would go this route, because they would typically go a 39 millimeter, which is much larger, the largest that I personally would go, but the 36 to me is the sort of sweet spot, and I'll show you what it looks like on my wrist toward the end of the video. So basically, when it comes to the watch functions here, it's kind of like an Oyster Perpetual in that sense. All right, so basically unwind the crown at the 3 o'clock position and just simply wind it clockwise. This allows you to wind the watch. So if you're at a dead stop, about 20 to 30 full winds is all you need to get to the full power reserve. Nice and easy there. Pull the crown out to the only other position. It stops at seconds hand, so you can then place the minute hand precisely wherever it needs to go based on that position of that seconds hand, and just simply press the crown back in once you have it synchronized up to an atomic clock. And there you go, you're good to go. Just simply wind the crown, screw the crown back in to the case to ensure that superior water resistance thanks to the twin lock waterproofness system here. All right, so what makes all of this work on the inside? It is the 3230 made in-house by Rolex, the 3230 manufacturer caliber from Rolex. Can't see it through the case back because you do have the added security of the full steel case back. Nice satin brush finish on there as well. And this basically shares the newer movements of the Oyster Perpetual line, or in other words, basically a date just, the modern date just without the date functionality there. Just gives you the time, that's all you really need, all right? It has the plus or minus 2 second per day time differential after casing, giving it that superlative chronometer certification as printed on every Rolex style, including this one. It has the center hour, minute, and seconds hands with the stop seconds for precise time setting, which I had just demonstrated with the crown functions and movements. It has the paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring with the high performance Paraflex shock absorbers on the inside, meaning that you can get relatively close to magnets or magnetized surfaces, potentially magnetized surfaces like circuitry and the like, and you can also take a few bumps here and there. You'll be keeping track of time just fine. No need to worry about the timekeeping ability. On the inside, you can't see it, but it does have a center mounted self-winding perpetual rotor, meaning that you can simply wind the watch up on your first day, set the time properly, and simply wearing it throughout the day will keep the watch wound thanks to your natural wrist movements with the center mounted rotor spinning around. It winds up that mainspring barrel, so it actually keeps it all the way up to the approximate 70-hour power reserve, meaning that you can set this down on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Monday morning ready to conduct business, or you know, when you're ready to go exploring, literally. And no need to wind the watch. Just wear your watch for the full day after picking it up after a couple days. It's basically a 3-day power reserve. You're not going to need to wind it if you wear this every other day, for example. All right, now taking a look at the bracelet here, as seen in the Oyster Perpetual line, full satin brush finish links, Oyster style bracelet as well with the 3-piece links across. All right, nicely fully integrated into the lugs of this case here. Gentle taper down to not the Oyster folding clasp, but the Oyster safety clasp. So simply lift from the bottom of the crown to open the safety, and then lift from the top to open the clasp up. And there you go, that's how you open it up. You also have the Rolex stamped logo on the inside. My camera would like to focus. There we go. And you know that you're dealing with a full steel construction here. Satin brush finishing on all of its outside with a nice high polish underneath. And speaking of underneath, there's also the EasyLink 5mm extension. So if you happen to be a little bit dehydrated, or or like, and you just pound maybe 2 liters of water all at once, well, your wrist is going to swell naturally, as happens with everybody. Happens to me, happens to you, happens to everybody. It's just a minute adjustment. So all you need to do, reach under here, pull it straight out of the clasp, and there you go. That's another half Oyster link, just so you can continue to wear this without having to take it off, or with the general discomfort of wearing a tourniquet on your wrist. And when you no longer need it, just simply fold it back in on itself, press it back into the clasp, you're good to go. No need to worry about that. All right, and while I'm here, I can try it on and give you my thoughts as to how it wears on my wrist, at least 7 inches in circumference. All right, so with full links, a bit loose, but if you know me from my videos, I do like this 36mm case size. It's the sweet spot for me, at least. 7 inches in circumference for my wrist. A good framing from the 12 and 6 o'clock sides of that integrated bracelet, so you can see. So I can basically see the entire presentation here. If I back up a bit, I can see even more thanks to basically how optics work. All right, now taking a look at it face on, very easy to read. That's basically the Explorer. That's what it's known for. Ease of reading, so that you can use it even in low light situations, and in the daylight, even easier. Taking a look at it down the wrist here, sits very nicely on my wrist, 7 inches in circumference again, and a little bit of space under these lugs, and that's fine because, you know, I can't say no to extra breathability. These Oyster links have plenty of space among them, and with Rolex's zero tolerance for their bracelets, they basically don't wobble at all. So it won't be pinching your wrist, your skin, or pulling the hairs out at all. And it just feels very good on the wrist. It's not too terribly heavy, but it's slightly noticeable if you're not used to wearing watches. If you wear a watch regularly, you won't even notice it. It's incredibly light, and certainly that has it going for it. And with that, you know, the overall high polish bezel here, it's not going for, you know, absolutely highest level of looks like a Datejust with a fluted bezel or even a diamond bezel, but it's going for the practical purpose of, you know, basically highlighting, making that highest contrast between the case and the dial, and then the dial color versus the hour marks, as you can see. Incredibly elegant, and still stylish and very practical in its applications there, but you know, it just looks plain good. And that's about it from me. If you guys have any thoughts on this one, the new 2021 version of the Explorer from Rolex, let us know down in the comments below, and be sure to like this video, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we go live with another video like this one. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch, brand new 2021, we can get it for you now pretty easily. Just click the links down below, go to our website at jazztime.com, where you can see it, the high-res images, as well as purchase one for yourself. If the 39mm is too big for you, 36 is just right. Now's the time to get it. And yeah, be sure to put in your order at jazztime.com. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.